Hey everyone, today I will be talking about this concept of interstitial journaling. Have you ever faced difficulty in doing multiple projects at the same time? In a way, we are all in the same boat, managing our personal, professional, and even creative endeavors at the same time. Today, I want to talk about a system of thinking which will help you manage multiple projects in a slightly better way. I had come across this concept in Cal Newport's book called The Deep Work, where he used to mention the story of Carl Jung, the famous psychologist. He used to have this inner sanctum within his house where he used to go there to do his deep work sessions. Yeah, that's quite interesting to see how he has a specific space and time just to have deep work. And I was really inspired by his process, and I wanted to bring about a similar process at home, and I was really intrigued, and I was involving or setting up a process to do so. So usually I tend to chunk my time in terms of focus blocks. So in a way, I was able to arrive at a process where I was able to get at least 4 hours of productive deep work every day. And this is something I've been able to practice repeatedly and make it as a habit. So while I was doing my deep work sessions, at least in the very beginning, I thought it would be nice to focus on one single thing and do it properly, right? But then I realized that even within that one single thing, there are so many multiple other activities and tasks which you keep doing, and there was a lot of context switching happening repeatedly. So naturally, I got very distracted, and I was really questioning myself and trying to inquire, how can I have such deep work sessions every day without me losing focus? This is where I would like to introduce the concept of interstitial journaling. It's a simple process of journaling your to-dos, projects and activities as well as your time logs at the same time. This is extremely beneficial when it comes to a lot of context switching. To give a simple example, sometimes even for work I have to open Twitter and access a bookmark so that I could share it as a relevant information. And the funny thing is, these apps are really designed to grab you into the system and keep following a certain behavior, right? In this case, it's a habit of scrolling. I automatically get distracted by various other things, and then I remember my work and have to get back to it. So this is definitely an example of distraction which could be combated using an interstitial journaling method. So how it works is that you simply log your thought processes. It's as simple as that. As you journal your thoughts on the fly, you start not just thinking but meta thinking. You think about your thinking, and in this way you become self-aware. In a way, it's not saying that you will be able to prevent context switching, because you do that quite a lot. It just makes you aware that this is an action which you're doing consciously, so that this in a way makes you get back to the state of flow and focused work. You might even ask, what's a big deal? I can still log my tasks on a to-do list. I can still put my project activities on the project planner, and also log my time accordingly on a notebook or something, right? This is the whole point. The point is, if you have it all in one place, you prevent the context switching from happening. We are anyway switching a lot of tasks and applications all the time that our attention is dwindling. So this is a place where we can at least have more control of how all these things are functioning. And that's the cool part of it. So instead of having 3 to 4 different apps for various purposes, you can just put them all in one place. For a smooth interstitial journaling experience, you can use an outliner tool like Roam Research, Logsec, or even Dynalist. All these are perfect for such processes. So I personally use Roam Research because it really gives me wings for my thoughts. While I do my research, I always have this tab open. So as and when I am doing my research, opening my browser, finding some links of use, I automatically start logging this link so that I can explore them later when I need it. And not just that, even in case of certain activities which just come up on the fly, right? For instance, even though I'm in one project, it might just happen that there is some activity from another project which is coming up, and I don't want to say remove my focus or flow. So what I then do is I tag the project and then also put in the task and then convert that into a to-do list, right? So again, I'm not really opening the project page and opening the activity and then adding all these information. I'm just doing it on the fly. As you can see how powerful it is. and I've not really done as much context switching as I conventionally do. And this makes it so powerful. And not just these two things, like say projects or to-dos, but it's also helpful in case when you want to reflect on the process as you do it. So in design, there is this common saying that there are two kinds of reflection. So there is reflection in action and reflection on action. So reflection on action is quite common, right? You are doing something and then you probably dedicate a day or a day in a month. So so in design you have a very common practice of reflection. So there is reflection in action and reflection on action. Reflection on action is quite straightforward and something which most people do. Let's say Bill Gates has this ritual of dedicating a week at the end of the year where he goes to a cabin and tries to reflect on how the year went, right? And this is something which most people do. But then there is this process of reflection in action, which is quite powerful. In this case, as you can see, I'm reflecting on my thought process itself while doing a project. It's a form of meta thinking and it's so useful, especially when you are logging in your thought process. For instance, let's say that at this time and while I'm doing this project, I feel a bit lost and I'm even recording that. So it becomes so useful, and especially when cases where you get stuck, right? You really want to articulate your thinking and clarify as to why you were stuck in the first place. So imagine I'm opening on some other day and then I open the same project. I didn't know that there was some action which I did which made me get lost. Now I can retrace my steps and try to figure out a way to solve it. It almost is like a mental parking lot, and that's the beauty of interstitial journaling. You can think of it like a system restore which happens in Windows when your system just crashes, right? And you just want to go back to the previous version and take it from there. This is something similar. It really acts as a mental parking lot so that you can start from where you left off. So the next time you're doing a deep work session, I hope this concept of interstitial journaling helps you to get more focused and really juggle between multiple activities at the same time. So yeah, thank you for listening. I hope to make more such videos on quality of life improvements, and stay tuned for more.